If anyone knows me personally, they would know that this video could be 7 hours long. Lucky for you guys, I won't do that to you. Oh shoot, looks like I forgot to turn off my fan. Anyway, I'm not going to go into an entire career retrospective. LeBron James, that's for another video. What we're here to talk about today is in the here and in the now. LeBron James battles sore ankle as frustrated Los Angeles Lakers lose again. Now, that is the title that they've reworked. Yes, here we go. The real headline is actually the bottom headline on ESPN.com right now, and it reads, as Lakers season unravels, LeBron rips play-in. Now, that's funny because the NBA, in my opinion, the biggest knock I have on the NBA is that there was that period there where, for whatever reason, LeBron James, who's the greatest player of all time, there was a 4 or 5 year stretch there where it was a given that he wasn't going to make the NBA Finals, although that was a given. It was a given that he was going to lose the NBA Finals. And just having that sort of predictability, really, in my opinion, just completely I mean, yeah, if you want to tune in for the greatest of great basketball, sure, we'll meet you in the finals. But everything up until that point essentially became mute and pointless. So the playing games, so last year with COVID-19 and the bubble, the NBA was one of the first sports back, and it was a little bit confusing. I'm pretty sure the Suns went 8-0 in the bubble, but they still didn't make the playoffs. I think there was a play-in game between the Trailblazers and the Grizzlies. There was I think two teams ended up finishing. Yeah, I think it was the Trailblazers and the Grizzlies finished relatively with the same record or something, so they had to have a play-in game for the NBA playoffs, which I don't think normally would have occurred in the NBA. In a regular NBA season, I think if you tie, they figure out some sort of tiebreaker. I don't think you would play an 83rd game of a regular season. But completely new to this year, I mean, it was already kind of wacky and everything with the bubble. So going with in the vein of that, they're like, hey, there was something cool about the bubble dynamic, about how the Phoenix Suns went on a run. Like, oh, hey, like in this bubble scenario, when you got guys in this controlled environment, like look what happened to the Phoenix Suns. Like even when a team seems like they've been on the average throughout the year, all it takes is one run, and this team is a team of professional basketball players. They're going to be as good as any team. They're going to be as good as any team in the NBA. I mean, now that I have my headset on, wow, what a rough start. But yeah, now when you get guys on the floor like that, you start to realize, wow, the difference in their ability isn't that much. Like home and away do play a factor. Like if you're a point or two better than a team, but you have to play on the road, you're not a point or two. Like there's certainly an advantage. Like there's something to be said. If you're, like I said, if you're a 2-point favorite going into a game, but you're the home team, like on a normal day, if you're a 2-point favorite, you might be a 5-point favorite just because you're playing at home. So I don't necessarily know what the plan is for this play-in tournament, if it's all going to be played in one location or if they're going to a bubble to ensure that the NBA playoffs go off without a hitch. I don't think that's in the cards. I think they're just doing the play-in tournament. But either way, longest intro ever out of the way. LeBron James, I just don't understand. The league has given him everything he's ever wanted. LeBron James almost by himself created a longer break after the All-Star break. Because why? Because LeBron wanted it. The league would come back pretty relatively quickly after the All-Star break, and LeBron said, no, we need a break. And this was years and years ago. So the league has bent over backwards to make it more player friendly. And LeBron isn't necessarily one of those players that does the load management thing, but Like that was his form of load management was, hey, give us a longer break after the All-Star break. And so the league has legitimately forever changed the way it schedules its season because of LeBron James. And so now that they've gone off on their own because the NBA is, despite what people think, like, I would hope that it's bigger than LeBron James, although I have to question it at points. I would hope that the NBA is bigger than LeBron James. So they go off on their own and they make the decision that they're going to have play-in tournaments because, like I said, there was this aura, there was this feel to the bubble where sort of anything could happen, and it really leveled. I really feel like it once you got those teams in that environment, like it really. Yes, the Lakers were obviously just so much better than the rest of the teams because the matchup nightmares that LeBron and AD created, but for your third, fourth, fifth guys, those third, fourth, fifth guys who on a normal night at home, like they're humming or whatever, but they are all sort of cancel each other out. And it just so happened that the Lakers just had by far the two best players going in the bubble. But it's just odd to me that LeBron complains about like there being a play-in tournament. Like, dude, you're LeBron. If wouldn't it just be another, because you're never gonna win a championship on your own or do anything like super legitimate. So wouldn't it be awesome to put it on your resume that, yeah, in the first ever play-in tournament, my team, which was struggling to hang on to their playoff spot, sort of like the first year LeBron was in LA. My team struggling to hang on into a playoff spot, but then in the first ever play-in, I proved how great I was again, and I led my team to a victory. Like, why isn't that what he's thinking? I I get he's getting up there in age, but like that just comes with the territory. I don't know what to tell you. It's already a shortened season. It's not like they're playing 82 games. And again, this goes back to look what happens. The Lakers lose Anthony Davis and LeBron James for several weeks. And obviously they're going to fall back, but like now that LeBron's coming back, AD sort of off in the distance, it's like, oh, hey, so you know how you won those 50 games or whatever to start the year because you have the two best players or the most unstoppable duo? Well, now things have evened out a little bit. And yeah, you shouldn't just be rewarded for the fact that you dominated the first couple months of the season. What about the last month or two? They've, like it's insinuating they continue to struggle. So I don't know. It's weird to me. You would think that for someone that just claims that they're the greatest, like when he won his first championship, because the Miami Heat championships, like what are you even saying? And he didn't even win there right away either, just to prove how ridiculous it is. But when he won his first real championship in Cleveland in 2016, he's like, oh, automatically that makes me the GOAT. Well, in my personal record book, he had one ring, but in real life, he still only had half the rings of Jordan. It just, for a guy that is constantly saying that he's the GOAT, why wouldn't you just take this opportunity to prove it again? To be, hey, like no one has done this. No one has been at this advanced age and been able to do these things, like these unprecedented things, like playing a play-in tournament when my team is faltering down the stretch. He has a chance to, in my opinion, he has a chance to right the wrongs of 2 seasons ago. I think 2 seasons ago was one of the lamest things I've ever seen in basketball. LeBron gets hurt, and obviously the whole team revolved around him. And who cares? He came back, and he's still like, he came back with plenty time. He even said like, oh, like it's LeBron mode now. And and he just didn't get it done. I think if you want reasons for why LeBron is not the greatest player of all time, you look at his first year in LA and you look at his first year in Miami. That's all you need. That's all you need to look at. But yeah, I'm not going to go too hard on him. Honestly, last year did do a lot for me. The fact that, okay, it's not just that he got Anthony Davis, but he got him and he did what he was supposed to do. He won the whole thing. And I do think that if it weren't in the bubble, if LeBron had to go on the road and play in those tough environments, that possibly it could have turned out differently for him and Anthony Davis, especially Anthony Davis, who's never played in a big game in his life, still hasn't. You can't tell me Anthony Davis has ever played in a big game. Oh, you mean that NBA Finals game where he played in front of no people? Anthony Davis has still never played in a big game. Oh, wait, but that time that he played against zero people in the final, or in front of zero people in the finals against the Heat. Like, Anthony Davis has never played a big game in his life. So I I just think that this is an opportunity for LeBron to really cement his legacy, because like I said last year, that to me was what he should have done the first year in Miami. That's what he should have done the first year he got to the Cavs or whatever. Like, when you assemble these teams, okay, now go out and win. And he finally did it in that first year. There was no lollygagging. He actually went and got it done. So I think LeBron's definitely gone up in my book in the last couple of years, but like, there's still things that just really bother me about him, and this is one of them. Like, do you think there would ever be, first off, and by the time he was a championship player, by the time we're talking about the Michael Jordan that we're all always talking about, like, his team wouldn't have been in a position where they're having to even like be in the play-in, obviously, because he's the real GOAT. But given that, we're in this alternate universe where people consider LeBron James the GOAT, that's fine. Now that he's in the playoff, or going to potentially be in the play-in, why not relish in that moment? I mean, it probably will draw eyeballs. Like, people are gonna be like, "What, a play-in? Like, what is this?" Like, it'll draw attention because it's something different, and the fact that you're gonna be a part of it is a real opportunity to stand out and again prove that you're the GOAT. But you would rather bitch about it and say that it's unfair. I'm not even gonna read the article. I don't even care. The headline is all I needed. It's just classic, like, it's just classic LeBron, just being LeBron. What can you say? But I love you guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for joining me today. I don't know what else to say. Not my goat. not my goat, that's for sure. But I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a great rest of your day.